Good evening, everybody. It is 7:01 Pacific Standard Time. Because this is going to be James's final war room for the month. He's got other plans for December. We decided to make this a party. So joining us today are...
Who we all got here? We got returning family members. We'll just call them that, family members.
They are a pair of family. So we got Segni from Ghostoria. We got Jason Haslin from
Big River Paranormal.
And joining us is...
My name's Billy, and I'm the founder of the Oregon Paranormal Society.
Glad to have you on board. And today is going to be a wonderful party edition. We're talking about ethics in the paranormal roundtable. So this is probably going to be a good 30, 45-minute conversation about what to do, what not to do, and how to make yourself respectable within the paranormal community. So who wants to lead off?
Jason.
I was like, why is everybody looking at me? So really, one of the important things when it comes to paranormal investigation, when you go on location, is did you properly represent the paranormal community so that the next team that wants to go into the location you just got the pleasure of investigating, the next team is going to be allowed in? And that's something that really haunts a lot of us, for lack of a better word, because how many times have you guys gone to a location and said, hey, we'd love to come in and check your place out? And they were like, we used to do that, but we had a couple teams coming here and they ruined it for everybody. So, I mean, that happens constantly. So that's one of the things you need to ask yourself, if you're going to be doing investigations is did we ruin it for the other guys? And some of the things that you can do that's going to make you ruin it for the next guys, not following the rules that the location asked you, or not getting permission to be there. Well, I mean, there was one team I saw online. The location asked them, please, you can do what you want, just don't use Ouija boards. What do? They jump online, Facebook Live. Screw them. We're going to use our Ouija boards. So guess what? Now the place is locked up. Nobody else can use. They're not going to let us because they think you make us. It's hard enough to make us look like a legitimate field when we're going. Look, hey, we're going to come to your location and look for ghosts. It's hard enough. It's a hard enough sell as is, without people doing stupid stuff and not following rules and basically, if you've seen Zach Baggins do it, don't do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Unless, of course, it's, he's got nice hair. It's true. You can do your hair nice and stuff on investigation. You can look good.
Exactly. You guys are really worried about that.
I wear a hat, so most of the time, which is actually against team rules, but I'm the director, so what are they going to do about it?
Okay. You just outed yourself, so cool.
Nice. I did. I should be getting a call from Marie, our executive director in Boise, in a couple hours here, going, what do you mean you were at? Oh, she sees the pictures. She'll probably call me and be like, yeah, that's fun.
So Julianne online says, be respectful and responsible.
Yeah. Is it better, or is the place as good or better than when you left, when you arrived? I mean, when you leave, that's, don't leave your Taco Bell trash, don't leave if you break something, and it happens, we're human, admit to it, fix it, do what you got to do to make it right. Now, thankfully that's never happened to us yet, but I mean, eventually, like you're running around in the dark half the times. Eventually something's going to happen.
Yeah. You're going to trip over something.
Yeah.
It's going to happen eventually. So just own it, be respectful, know that going in, it's part of the game.
Yeah.
You move stuff around, put it back. A lot of times we gather all the chairs together to talk or whatever. Put them back where they belong.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, make the place look a hell of a lot better, like Jason already said.
Yeah. Just leave it how it was or make it better.
Yep.
Bring in the bleach and clean everything. No, don't do that. Unless it's a homicide.
Needs to stay dirty and dusty and creepy.
Yeah, just not moldy.
Yeah, no mold.
So who's next, Signe?
Billy.
Yeah, Billy's quiet. We're going to pick on you for a second, Billy.
One thing that bugs me with other teams, and you can take your feud and stuff out, is especially when you're doing a residential investigation, you got to remember the people live there. You don't go in and stir things up, or even if you do, it's like you just don't frighten your customers. They're the ones that have to live there. Just because you found something, especially when everyone jumps to conclusions, you know, just because something looks like something, take time. And like I said, they live there. You don't want them being scared in their own house.
Right.
Exactly.
For sure.
Yeah. If your goal isn't to make the client more comfortable in their own location, then you're not doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we always get stuff, but to just assume that like they're an expert in something, and you've got a demon, or you've got a pagan ghost. It's like, well, all you're doing is scaring them, because now they're already scared. Now they're even more scared because you're saying you found stuff. And
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's just
Right. And then you're leaving.
Yeah, then you're leaving. So
Yeah.
bye. You get to deal with these ghosts now. I'm gone.
Like, have a good. We're out of here. You guys sleep well
Yeah.
tonight.
There's a
Enjoy your
pagan entity under your bed.
Yeah. Is it a pagan entity, or are they pegging an entity? I don't know.
Right.
Did I say that? Oops.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I'm just going to leave the hashtag on the bottom of the screen there, because it just kind of fills out everything.
Right.
Right.
Well, it's also like, don't be sure, really. We all get startled on these investigations. Sometimes, something will make a noise. It's probably nothing, but you do freak out a little. But, if you're going to start being a Zach and screaming, dude, oh my God, what's that? It's just not professional, right? I mean, if you're out in the cemetery by yourself, have at it. But if someone's asked you to come to their location, you don't want to act like that. You want to be the professional, because that's why they called you,
Yeah. Well, like I'm teaching my young protege, he's 11, starting him early, and I got him a K2 meter, and we got a hit, and he freaked out and ran away, and I had to explain to him, like, if you went up to somebody and they wanted to talk to you, say you went up to your aunt and she was like, hey, what's going on? How's school going? And you screamed in her face and ran away. Is she going to want to talk to you again? And he was like, no. And I said, well, see, that's the thing with the paranormal. You don't need to be screaming and yelling and running. And, if you get a hit, then investigate it. Continue on with it. Don't,
The spirits for people
sure.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
go ahead.
There's times that you're not going to be able to help it. Something's going to startle you, but you don't have to be 15 about it,
Yeah, especially
Unless
in
you're on
front of the
TV.
client. Don't do it in front of a client. I've had my stepdaughter. She was just on her team, just starting out. We were doing an investigation, and something just freaked her out. She went running, screaming, and the client caught it. And I'm like, talking to her, and I'm like, no, you can't do this, especially in front of the client. If you got something going on, come talk to me or someone else, and we can work it out. Try to figure it out. Just don't scream and run, and especially with the client right there, asking what's going on. Because obviously that's going to freak the client out.
Yeah.
And honestly, this isn't for everyone. I mean, not everybody can go into a location and not freak out. And that's not a dog on anyone. It just, some of us have different, awarenesses and things that scare us. And, like I'm not going in the ocean, but, some people do, like they're not afraid. I would be afraid to go in the ocean. Some people are afraid to go on a paranormal investigation, even though it sounds like fun. It's not sometimes. So, or most of the time, actually, it's not as fun as people think it is on TV.
Boring.
I mean, I'm sitting around, like it's really hard to like, especially when you're trying to like listen and just kind of chill and get the the gist of the location, because it is boring. So you're sitting there with a room full of your friends and you got to be quiet. That is like, I would say that's going to be the downfall of my team, because we can't be quiet. We talk too damn much.
We don't want to talk. We don't hang out very often. So when we're all together, it's like
Yeah.
chat, chat, chat.
Yeah.
But I will call myself out, like close to the mouth of a sailor. And I tend to forget. And sometimes those F-bombs will fly. And thanks to Billy and his little documentary that he did at the butcher shop, and put it on YouTube, the F-bomb's flying. And I looked at it and I went, oh, wow, I really do say that a lot. So I'm trying to not do that. And thankfully, it wasn't at a client's tour or a client's location. But even those little things are something that you need to watch.
Yeah, it's always like we always have talked to ourselves about, like, the worst thing you can do is drop the F-bomb and have like a Class A EVP right there with it.
Yeah, right?
Because
Yeah, you're not gonna
you
use
can't
it.
put that. That's not going on your website. How are you going to show that to the client? Be like, yeah, we got this really great Class A EVP that says your name, but like, I'm telling somebody to F off, so we can't really use it. And we were at a location and we were setting up. We always set a recorder immediately when we go in, and me and another team member were talking trash. This is we're setting up, just joking around. And Stacy, another one of our investigators, she's teasing me. She's like, professionalism, Jason. Just giving me crap because we were swearing and stuff. But the client wasn't in there. We were just getting set up, and we get this EVP and it says "F you." Yeah. So we were pretty excited to get that, but it was kind of funny. Which was the hilarious part was it was a place that I was going to investigate. And then they were having a conference and I was going to do a reveal of our findings. And that is the only thing we got. So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I had to I did a presentation and then I was like, okay, so this is what we found here. And just tell me what you think it says. But, like, I'm not going to say it. And by the looks on the faces of the crowd, they knew exactly what it said. So, yeah.
Crazy when that happens.
Yeah, I know James and I are a little guilty of dropping the F-bombs. We had the Klondike investigation. We were in the basement doing tours. And the spirit box was arguing with us and telling us where we could go and dropping its own F-bombs. And
wow.
Two nights in a row, we both got into like full-blown arguments with the spirit.
Yeah.
It's telling us to F you. We're telling it to F you. Oh, it was... But it was right in between the tours and was like, all right, we got a 15-minute window. And then it's just back and forth, screaming and yelling at each other.
Wow. You need to read the room, too. If there's a bunch of, 20-year-old guys that are cussing their brains out, if you drop one, is it a big deal? Probably not. But if you have a mixed group with children and old ladies, probably not, But it happens.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, James, I just noticed I loved your shirt.
Well, trying to rub here.
I was wondering how long it was going to take her to see that.
I figured I'd kind of suit up for the night. I even got the DBK shirt on as well.
Nice.
I just don't have my shit up yet. How's that?
There you go. Yeah, right? Where's yours?
Well, let me see. My banner's on the other side of the monitor. It's all good.
All right.
All right. So how would you guys handle a team that was, say you're doing a group function and you got another team that comes in and they are not being respectful or they're being a total Zach Baggins? How would you treat that situation?
For me personally, I'd probably bow out of it. I'd just say, hey, we're out.
You wouldn't say anything to that team?
No, I mean, I'm not in charge of them. So I would just say, hey, this isn't how we do things. Good luck to you. Have a good night. We're out. Because, I mean, people know, especially if they're inviting my team along, that kind of stuff, we're not into that. They know that we're taps. They know that we're not going to be doing that kind of stuff. But so if my team was invited along to something like that and they were doing that, I think they would be doing it to the shock value. Let's see what Jason's going to do with this. I mean, I might talk to them like, hey, let's not do that. But like normally if a situation on an investigation, public or not, if it's sketchy or just makes me uncomfortable, I'm done. Because I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, your investigation is done. If somebody's acting like you can't investigate, I mean, the environment's not going to be conducive to an investigation. And then you got to wonder what other things are they going to do? Are they faking stuff? You know, if they're acting like that, you know, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I would probably just bow out myself.
All right. Well, what if you were leading the tour and say Signe came in? I'm throwing you under the bus, Signe.
Right.
I should throw Natalie under the bus. She's not on.
She's not here yet.
She's not here to defend herself. So yeah, well, Natalie's on the tour. You're the leader. Say we're at the bridge tender, and she decides that she's going to pull a Zach Baggins and get a little animated. What would you do?
She'd get a warning, and then she'd have to go.
Billy, what would you do?
I would probably pull off the sides and someone say, hey, you know, we need to, you know, kind of like what Jay said, you know, warning for, you know, kick her out, but just pull off the side away from everybody so it's not a whole public, you know, thing that, you know, that's going on.
Signe, same question to you.
It'd be so more forthright. Be like, knock it the hell off or get out. Period. I don't have time for this.
And you know, I've actually had this happen to me on one of the investigations down there at Seaside at the Starry Night Inn. We were doing an investigation with beginners, and this other paranormal group actually came into that group, and they tried to actually take over the investigation. And I took the lead guy off to the side. I said, hey, you guys can't be doing this. This is for beginners, and we need to have a little professionalism here. And the guy apologized, and he took his guys and kind of left.
I remember that.
Yeah.
But they couldn't just abide by that. They had to leave.
Well, they chose to leave after, you know, because it went on for a good half hour, 45 minutes. I was trying to feel them out, see if they would kind of stop, and they weren't stopping. I'm like, okay, enough is enough. I had another team member take over the investigation while I stepped aside with him and had a conversation with him. So,
interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, Billy, have you been on an investigation where another team was acting off?
Oh, I sure have, and it was definitely a sight to see. We were at a location in Salem, and it was what made it even worse. It was it kind of did. It's bad just because of, you know, the way it makes us look, but it was for public tours. So, you know, kind of public tours. You know, you don't fake it, but you are a little bit more animated. Sure, that's fine. But the other team was trying to get some communication through an EMF meter, and I just happened just because I went live on Facebook, and I was probably standing 4 or 5 feet away from the meter, but even 4 or 5 feet away was enough to make it go off. And one of the investigators, it was like I said, it was watching Ghost Adventures. Dude, bro, this thing is tweaking out. It's going red. It's like I'm standing here with a cell phone, but it's like I'm not going to derail this because yes, it's an investigation, but it's a public tour and they're paying to see it. So it's like it helps that kind of vibe because it's better than nothing going on. It's not necessarily faked, but it's also not. I mean, it should have been debunked instead of just jumping. Oh my god, it's hitting red. Well, why could it be hitting red? And, you know, we're in a basement. It's got wires, stuff like that. Yeah, I wasn't quite expecting my phone to set it off being 5-6 feet away. So it shows you how sensitive the meter was. But yeah, just like jumping around like a little kid. It's like, oh, it's going red. It's going red. It's like, yeah, I know why it's going red. I'm just not going to say anything behind the camera in the dark.
I always tell people it's not a demon. It's a text message.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, Ghost Man. Oh, I just got a text message.
You want people to have a good time on these tours, I guess. But I'm all for debunking, and I probably over debunk. But I just can't, with good conscience, let something go if I even halfway think that it's something doing it that's not a spirit, because it's all theory anyway. We just believe that it's a spirit. But if I know, I mean, I will question several times, does everybody have their phone in airplane mode? Right? Oh, I just turned mine on to do something. I'm like, well, then that could have been it. So we just move on. Let's
Right.
not
I
get
mean,
started
There was no
on.
question. There was no
Yeah,
question.
yeah, right. But they
well,
should have known that. And if they didn't know that and they really thought it was spirit interaction, then that's a whole nother class they need to
And
take.
neither of them ever asked me, "Hey, was that you on your phone?" It's like, I mean, it's obvious. I'm holding a phone.
Yeah.
It's like, what was in airplane? It's like, you didn't ask.
It's paranormal investigation 101, right?
I mean, you would think, but
Apparently not.
That's another class for you, Jason.
Well, I mean, like I just did the class, but one of the things I like to do after public, like if you have a public investigation, yes, things need to happen for entertainment purposes, that kind of stuff. So if the K2 is going off or whatever, and you know that, hey, so and so had their phone, or maybe my phone wasn't on airplane mode or whatever. What I like to do is afterwards, when everybody's done, you bring everybody together and say, hey, did anybody have any experiences? And then that's when you say, yeah, we did have this, with the K2 going off, but what that likely is, and you give examples of what it likely was. You don't say, oh, it wasn't a ghost. You just say it was more likely this, or this. And you can do that afterwards. So in the moment, you're not ruining the thrill seeking of the guest, but at the end, you're doing education as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, you're going to have people on either side of the spectrum, really. I mean, you're going to have the ones that they get a hit and they're not going to debunk it. They're just going to go straight to it's a ghost or it's a demon. And then you're going to have your hardcore, it's a demon. And then you're going to have your hardcore skeptics that even though you get something that you can't debunk, they're going to say, oh, it was absolutely nothing. Like James and I say, you got to walk that fine line of being right in between. Go,
yeah.
All right, we got a hit. Can we replicate it? Can we debunk it?
Right.
And then if it cannot be replicated and it cannot be debunked, then you put that into the questionable column and then you kind of go with it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So what are your thoughts on teams that pay to play?
As in, like, pay to go into a location?
Well, I mean, asking donations, asking for assistance.
You're not a charity. This isn't a charity. Yes, it's expensive. It's a very expensive hobby, as we all know how much these toys cost that we like to play with. But it doesn't have to be when you're beginning. So, I mean, you can go on an investigation with a very simple, cheap Walmart digital recorder and a cheap camera. You can do that and get just as good a results as somebody that spent $10,000 on stuff. It just, you don't have to be rich to do this. So you don't have to have these fancy equipment because most of it is just for show anyway. But asking for money, unless you're asking your mom and dad, knock it off. Unless you're going to fundraise. So if you're going to fundraise, that's different. If you're offering something like, hey, we're going to, sell tickets to this investigation and we're going to use that money, people can come with us to do whatever, to buy new equipment or whatever. That kind of stuff is fine. But just saying, hey, we want to go to the Oregon Ghost Conference, but we don't have enough money for gas. Here's our Venmo. That's
for sure.
Knock it off. Get a job.
Yeah, I've seen it a couple times, and it's aggravating because most of us have tried really hard to make this reputable and respectable. And if we didn't have something, we just didn't use it, right? We don't offer our services if we can't do the investigation. We didn't go ask, hey, can you give us money because we want to investigate, but we don't have any gear, right? Or we want to travel to places, but we don't have any gas money. Can you help us out? Why? Why? If you can't offer the service at the level you need to offer it, don't offer it, period. You know, you can sell t-shirts, you can sell stickers, whatever, and then get the money to buy your gear. Or better yet, there's so many inexpensive pieces of gear out there. Just start there. You don't have to have the $200 rim pod, you know?
You can't open up a restaurant and then be like, did you guys not bring us some food for you to cook? You know, like
right. It's really aggravating. You know, I've seen people with the Patreon, you know, and they do stuff like that and offer whatever they do and they make money that way. But just to ask for money to, you know, here's my hat, throw some money in it, that just doesn't work for me.
Yeah,
I think they should be embarrassed. Why aren't they embarrassed to do that? I mean,
I know James and I, we do our Old Town Ghost Walks every September, October. And all that money basically goes to buy new equipment that we need for our outings and our expeditions. Or in my case, new cameras and cases of MREs.
You're providing.
We're going to be on the list for. Oh yeah, quick and easy and simple, no cooking.
Yeah, you're not asking for money for free. You're saying, hey, you know, come see my tour where you've done all this research on the history of locations and all that kind of stuff, and you're sharing your knowledge. So you're not asking for something for free. You're sharing the knowledge of the town and the haunts and that kind of, and the history and all that kind of thing. So you're not saying, hey, give me your money and then like go for a walk with me. You actually have to do a lot of work and probably more work than what it was actually worth monetarily, to be honest.
Yeah, we tend to keep our prices down. We want to be affordable to everybody that comes on these things. Because the festival that happens at the same time, they tend to run, you know, $30 to $90 for tickets. So, you know, we try to keep it as low as we can. And I mean, because of the fact that we've got paying customers, there's been a couple times James and I showed up this year and we had like 2 people and we still gave them, you know, the full show. You know, we had to explain we're not actors. We're just excitable about these buildings.
Not actors, not scripted. It's, you know, all research that's been done.
And it's super informative, and it really was worth the money. It was very cool, and people get to find out about places that they normally probably wouldn't have the chance to do that, except on your tour.
Yeah, and the advice I give people... Go ahead.
And you could charge more, but the point is you don't need to. You charge enough to get what you need, right?
Yeah.
The advice I give people on these tours is find the tour of the person who lives in that city. Don't go on one of those USA Haunted tour things because that's just all about money. That's, you know, $50. This guy's, he doesn't care about the location. Whereas like if you go to your tour or say Rocky's tour in Oregon City, you guys are passionate about your locations in your city and the places, and you're going to get a much better tour from, and probably cheaper from somebody that cares about the location and the history of the town, as opposed to somebody who's just dropping into the town for the Halloween season to make a little bit of cash.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I know we care about every single one of our buildings, and we have investigated them, and they are like our children, you know. I mean, we respect every single building. Whenever we're given the opportunity to get in to investigate these places, you know, we treat them with respect. We make sure that, you know, hey, like we said at the top of the half hour, we don't break anything. We leave it better than we left it. We make sure all of our gear is out. You know, case of the Klondike, you know, I mean, we love that place. We respect it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, that's why it's our crown jewel of the tour, is that we take a whole half hour just on the Klondike alone.
Yeah, very cool place.
Yeah, I've never been there.
Why?
Like I've been there, but I haven't been inside because personal reasons. But I've never been there.
Well, next year or whenever, has he started renovation up top yet?
Yes.
Apparently, they had to put it off for a little bit.
Well, when they redo it and it's a hotel, we'll just do a paranormal takeover and we'll all rent it out. Then we can investigate all night.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
it's not going to have the same effect all clean and shiny, right?
yeah, it's the dust and the dirt and the busted walls, and
Yeah, right.
it gives it that ambiance.
The
All the
fact that
orbs.
you may or may not fall through the floor. I mean, like, you know, that could
That's
be,
right.
you know, that alone in itself is enough to, you know,
That's the allure.
yeah. Am I going to be the next spirit here at the Klondike?
Yeah, I know there's one room up on the 3rd floor that if you were to fall through, you would easily wind up in the kitchen on the 1st floor.
Like, I'm hungry.
I'm hungry. I'm taking the elevator.
The express
Yeah.
route.
Restaurant.
Yeah, and I know for a fact of that room because we had the thermal camera up, and we noticed a hot spot in the very center of the room. They had it taped off, and another person that was in our party, that is no longer an investigator, decided he was going to go in and put his hand over the hot spot. And he was like, yeah, it's very hot right here. And we went down to the next level to 2, and sure enough, there was a hole in the floor above the stove.
Wow.
Wow.
And because they keep the stove lit all night, because it's harder to restart, so you just leave a pilot light on, it was just cascading all the way up to the 3rd floor.
Wow.
Easy debunk. It's like, ooh, it's just a hot spot in the center of the room. Oh, that's because there's no carpet, there's nothing but bare boards, and there's a oven 3 doors down.
Again, some of these teams would look at that and go, "Oh my God, look at that! Look at that hot spot." Yeah, it's a portal. It's, demon entities, whatever. But they're not going to go figure it out, and that's the sad part. You have to do a little bit of investigating.
We'll jump through the portal, and you'll be a spirit and can find out.
Remember how sometimes they come in the house, Jason?
Oh, you mean like your Ring camera? Like, like you see the orbs on the outside of your, you live in Portland. Of course, it never would be moisture or anything like that because Portland, it's a dry city, as we know.
We've heard that people have been told, and that just scared the hell out of them, of the clients. Yeah. And it's irresponsible to say things you don't know are true.
Yeah, that particular case, the lady called me and told me she had a team in, and they told her the orbs, which were just raindrops on her Ring camera in Portland, we're ghost trying to get into her apartment, which is weird because it's cold outside. Let your ghosts in. I don't know, but like why would you say this woman? Unfortunately, she's an ex-drug user, so she did heavy drugs. So she was really easy, gullible to convince because she's not 100%. She's got mental health issues because of her usage and that kind of stuff, and she's very upfront about that. So I feel like they just took advantage of that to make a joke out of it, and that kind of stuff. If that's what you want, if you want to scare people, join a fake haunted house or something. But if you're going to be what we call a paranormal investigator and help people with their locations and you have to go in skeptical every time. And you have to find, I would say more than 90% of the time when I have a residential call, I can come in and find exactly what is truly going on from a logical explanation. It's relatively easy if you just use common sense. It's rating or it's, you walk in and the lady's watching Ghost Adventures and she's already bought her own stuff. She's got her own K2 and that kind of stuff. Now, she just watches too much TV.
Yeah, we don't have TV contracts, so we don't need to post results.
No, thank you.
Right.
If there's nothing going on, there's nothing going on.
To me, my best results are when I help somebody figure out what's really going on. Not that not finding a ghost, but finding, hey, we help this person realize what EMF is and what that does to a person, and a logical reason why they were experiencing hallucinations and that kind of stuff, or maybe their medication stuff. Because if you call me and you say a demon's coming after me in my apartment, I'm going to tell you to go see your doctor first.
Yeah, not everything is a demon. Not everything is bad.
Not everything is something. For the most part, I bet you 90% of whatever is happening is explained away with something common.
Very easily.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah,
have to know
like
what those things are.
I know we had a
left-
client that was talking about having sleep paralysis.
Mm-hmm.
And we did the investigation. We found a few things. It was an old schoolhouse.
That place.
Yeah, that place. But it's like, we told her that, yeah, it's not demonic. It's nothing bad that's going on. And then she took out her sleeping pills for the night because we were packed up. We were leaving. We were just doing the debrief with her to leave. And it was these 4 giant sleep aids. And I happened to ask her what was the milligrams on each pill. And, it was like 540 milligrams of,
Yeah.
Ambien. I'm like, well, that's probably where you're getting the sleep paralysis from.
Wow.
She was like, oh, I didn't even think about that one. I'm like, taking some heavy duty sleep drugs there. Here's your sleep paralysis.
Yeah, that's something we ask. You have to ask people. Not every client is going to be truthful or comfortable giving you that information, but you can only help them as much as they're willing to answer your questions.
Yeah, and she didn't even answer that on the questionnaire about medications taken. There was some other stuff that, and I was like, oh, sleep meds, huh? Yeah, I didn't tell you guys about it. All right, well, don't be
There you
scared.
go.
There's nothing wrong here. There's nothing bad. It's going to be okay.
Lighten up on the meds.
For sure.
Or take a little more. And then,
Billy's been super quiet. Add to the peanut gallery here, Billy.
Well, like you guys talk about, just because go in and there's sometimes we get absolutely nothing and stuff, and not everyone posts when there's nothing. I actually try to like posting when there's nothing, just because it gives the world, which is probably why my YouTube videos are so low count and stuff, 'cause they're so boring. I want people to see what it's really like. We're not running around like they are on TV. I want them to actually see what it is. It's like sometimes there are times where there is absolutely nothing. We spend 4, 6, 8 hours sitting around in the dark talking to ourselves, and that's what I want people to see. I mean, I try to be as transparent as possible, with everything that I do. So I mean, a lot of my videos and stuff, I might put in subtitles, stuff like that, just for hard of hearing, what we think is said. But I try to make things as uncut as possible because I got nothing to hide. I want people to see what it's really like.
For sure. I mean, it's just, like it says, ethics.
Yeah.
We have to be ethical.
And like we were talking about earlier and stuff with, the language, the F-bombs and stuff like that. Sometimes when, you're in a location where there's not a client and that's just the way people are talking, it's just showing, the realism of the people. You can have people that say it.
Yeah.
You have people that don't, so it's like.
That's different.
Yeah.
If you're in someone's house and you're not going to go throw around the F-bomb. But yeah, if you're on a location and owners left you the keys to the place, it happens because you're in your element and you're comfortable with your teammates, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, right.
just you, Signe. You're the only one that swears.
I know. There's a shirt I was going to get. It says, I love ghost hunting and the word F-bomb. But it was spelled out. I'm like, I don't know if I have the guts to wear that shirt. But I loved it.
What do you mean? You wouldn't get that and wear it to a residential?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Wear it to the ghost conference.
I try to tell people too, when you go to people's locations, you have to dress and act professional as well. And don't live broadcast from a residential. That's a private
Thank God you brought that up. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially for my team, we get permission slips from everyone on what they want us to do with what we found. But for residentials, we never put it on our website. So, a commercial location, we ask, do you want us to keep this confidential? And if they say yes, then it's like HIPAA for us. We don't talk about it outside of the team. And that's just the way it works. And that's the quickest way to get yourself off of my team is by discussing cases that you're not allowed to. And, there was a particular team that told a guy he had a demon and sold him the cure, but they live broadcasted them exorcising the demon from his house. And that's not entertainment. It's not. It is entertainment if it's a movie, but if you believe it's real life, that's very personal, and it should never be broadcast for the world to see.
Yeah, that was sad. I saw that myself. It was cringeworthy.
Yeah, the medium was communicating with the spirit, with the demon, with her phone app, meaning she's not a medium.
Yeah, that was rough.
For a small donation, they got rid of his demon that they told him he had. Don't do that. Don't charge people for that kind of stuff, and don't charge people in general. We don't
understand that.
Yeah.
There is one group that said they don't charge for their services yet. What? What are you talking about? You're going to charge to go help somebody? Why?
No.
Are any of us in this for the money?
No.
I mean, it's one thing to sell shirts and stuff, but you're not going to go charge, I charge $500 to exorcise your demon.
Sounds like a lawsuit.
Yeah. Well, and something also is you got to be careful on the things you say. So don't ever say, oh, it's a demon. If your house is haunted. It's a ghost. You have to say things like, this is what we found. This is what we believe, but we can't say for sure. And the reason is because there are currently lawsuits, I believe one in the state of New York, where people are having teams like, teams that don't have any credibility coming in to their apartment or whatever and saying, oh, this place has demons. So then they go to court to get out of their lease. Oh, my house has a demon because this team said. And now you're being called into a courtroom because you're a supposed expert witness, and now you have to prove in court that this house had a demon. Good luck with that and not making yourself look like an idiot.
Well, I thank you guys for joining us. We're going to wrap up because we got to set up for 8 o'clock.
It's going to be good.
Oh, the 8 o'clock Unleashed is going to be off the absolute hooks because our research agent has found so much more than what was originally publicized about the couple. So
very cool.
It'll be off the rails in 5 minutes.
All right. It's a must watch, people. Thanks for having us on again.
Hey, we'll have you guys on again some other time for more group bashing.
Oh my God. All right. We'll see you, James, when next month? January?
Well, for the 7 o'clock podcast, I am not going to make that at all in December. 8 o'clock, I might be 5-10 minutes late. We'll put it that way. I just might jump in on the podcast at that point. Because we do, every holiday season, I'm out front in a mascot doing meet and greets and things like that for the holiday season, and then we collect new unwrapped toys and non-perishable foods for. I think this year we're doing Dornbecker's and another location. So
very cool, James.
So
very cool.
Between 6 and 8, whenever the weather allows, we're out there. I'm in like 4 different costumes. I think tomorrow we start off with Frosty.
Cool. I want pictures. Post
when are you going to be a pagan entity?
I could send you our Facebook page. I mean, we got almost 2,000 followers on that thing.
The pagan entities for New Year's Eve, Jason.
Yeah. Well,
okay. You can always borrow my Krampus outfit if you want, James.
Maybe we'll have you out there with it.
See? He's going to rope you into it too.
Yeah, probably.
Awesome.
All right. Anyway, we'll see everybody later. Thanks for everybody for coming on. We had a good time. We'll see y'all next week. Bye, everybody.
See ya.
Yeah.
I-
See ya.
Later.